What's going on, you fealty gamers? I hope you're having a good day, and thank you for giving this channel a chance and clicking this video and giving it a watch. I hope you enjoy it. Gonna go over Nintendo's E3 presentation today, but I want to start off by saying thank you everyone for joining, thank you everyone for hitting subscribe, all the people that have been clicking like, leaving comments, everything. I really appreciate it so much. You know, this is a wild journey, and I'm trying to learn and just create as much content as possible. And, yeah, let's just jump on into it. So today we're going to be talking about everything that I kind of noticed and experienced from Nintendo's E3 presentation. And then I'm going to share my thoughts at the end of it of, you know, where I think things are going, maybe the gaming world and everything. That's just kind of, I like to sit here and chat gaming. If you'd like to chat with me, leave a comment down below at any time about anything you see. I'd really love to chat about what you're thinking, what you experienced, and everything from this gaming moment in time. So to start it off, I'll go through the games really quick that I saw on there. So it started off with Super Smash Brothers, Dragon Quest. A lot of characters coming in, apparently, to Super Smash Brothers. And it looks like we're going to get the original Dragon Quest, games are going to be coming to Switch, which is kind of cool. Happy to see more characters coming to Smash Brothers, or Smash Bros, as people like to say. And, you know, bring back some of the old games is pretty neat. I don't see any downside to that whatsoever, unless they charge, like, $60 for an old game. You know, but usually it seems like Nintendo's pretty good at not charging you full price for old content, you know, so, but we'll see. A lot of the stuff I'm about to say of games here, we have no definitive information on releases, so I didn't notice any definitive date on that. If you saw it, I might have just missed it, but yeah, I didn't see anything. It looks pretty cool, though. I'm definitely digging it, you know. I play Smash Bros. Every now and then on my Switch, and, you know, it's a nice game to pick up once in a while and play and just knock around with. If you got some friends come over and play with, then yeah, it's pretty fun too. But I don't know. I'm just not good at it. I'm just terrible at the game. I can't win. I really can't. I try. I give it my best. What can you ask for? Then goes on to Luigi Mansion 3. It just says 2019, no definitive date on that. And Luigi Mansion games are just fun games, you know, especially, you know, I'm looking at a lot of Nintendo stuff as this is games made for, like, kids mostly. But still, if you're someone older, you get to kind of relive the game styles of your childhood quite often, I feel. And, you know, Luigi Mansion 3 looks kind of like a fun kind of game. You got, like, this little goo version of yourself to go and travel around with. This big vacuum machine looking thing, kind of like a mixture of, like, the Ghostbusters pedal thingy that would suck up the ghosts, and it's got all these, like, grab abilities. It just looks like a kind of fun game to just knock around with, and just maybe a fun story. Who knows what's happening there, what you gotta do and everything. Look pretty cool. But 2019, no official date, just it's coming. Sometime it's coming, I don't know. Then it goes on to Dark Crystal Age of Resistance. So this one was kind of a step back for me at this point in the E3. I was like, you know, because I'm watching it, and it kind of reminded me of Mario and Rabbids, that game. Kind of like this, like, turn-based, you know, movie characters along the squares. Kind of like XCOM 2. And those games just don't really do it for me. And also, since Dark Crystal, the Dark Crystal is going to be, I think, a show on Netflix coming up in, I think, August. You know, it definitely, to me, read as a movie or TV show game. You know, like, these things quite often are bad. You get a movie that comes out or a TV show, and all of a sudden it's like, hey, there's a video game coming out that's, like, got the same name as this, and yeah, it should be cool because, right, the movie's cool, right? No, not really. Usually the game is pretty abysmal. But if you think about it, they're putting all this money into making the movie and the show. they don't have the money to put into this other thing that's totally different and something that I'm sure, like, the people who are the money people for this show or movie, they don't really know about this gaming sphere. So they get a company to go and make the game, and it turns out to be poopy. But that game's coming out. It says 2019, no official date. This is gonna keep on popping up here. Then we get The Legend of Zelda Link's Awakening. If this title sounds familiar to you, it's probably because I think it's come out like 20 times already at this point. It's pretty much The Legend of Zelda Link's Awakening with a new skin made for the Switch. Which, for me, Link's Awakening, back when I was in junior high, I was playing through it, like, in one class, in my math class, which I ended up kind of failing for a little bit of the year, but I did pass. I did pass it by the end of the year, but while I was playing through that, it was so addictive. It's so good. It is an amazing game. I was playing it on, like, an old school Game Boy, so it was like I was hiding on the desk. I could barely see the screen because it wasn't, like, backlit or anything, so... But it was so much fun. Like, me and my friend who was sitting next to me, he was playing through it too. So both of us would just be sitting there in class like this, like the whole class, like, don't call on us, please. Don't call on us. You know, because we wouldn't know what was going on. We did get called on a few times. But that's coming out. It says 2019. And a cool new feature on that one is you're going to be able to have a dungeon maker and then be able to play through the dungeon that you create. And there's going to be, like, unlockable stuff as well with that, which is neat. Yeah, I'd like to play through Legend of Zelda with, I guess, a new skin. I could play it again, why not? But still, you know, if we're talking, we go from, like, Smash Brothers getting new characters, nothing new. Luigi's Mansion 3, like, okay, another, you know, series of the game in the series, cool. Dark Crystal, poopiness. Now Legend of Zelda Link's Awakening is like, oh, it's cool because it's Legend of Zelda, but... You know, I feel like we're walking down a staircase at this point. Then we get into Trials of Mana, coming out sometime in 2020, no official date. Does it look cool? Yeah, sure. Am I pretty certain it's like a remake of the older ones? Like, I tried looking into it, I couldn't find much info. It looks like it's going to be a release of a game that maybe wasn't allowed, like, to be released everywhere, but now it's finally getting released everywhere, which is cool. But, like, to me, not much wow there, not much zhuzh. You know, I'm looking for the zhuzh in this, and it just didn't have it for me. Which now we're still walking down the stairs a little bit. And then goes into Witcher 3, a game that's already been out. No official date, just 2019. And, okay, so you're getting another game that it is like, oh, cool, now I can play that on my Switch. Neat. I'll talk more about that later. It looks cool. It looks like Witcher 3, but with worse graphics than what you'd probably get on anything you've already played it on. But hey, at least you can play it on your Switch anywhere you go. Then goes into Fire Emblem. Yeah, I can talk today. Fire Emblem Three Houses, July 26, 2019. We got a date, y'all. We got a date, finally. We finally got a game that they know when it's coming out. It's Fire Emblem, cool game series. I think I've seen Fire Emblem games coming out since, like, I want to say, like, the first Game Boy Color came out? Maybe older than that, too? I mean, solid RPG series. You can't really go wrong with them. Just gonna be just another one to play through, and, you know, that one, you know, was like a step up. Like, I love those games. These are games that you could just sit down and just play through, and they often have an enthralling story where you feel awesome, you're saving the world, you're doing amazing things, and it's just all good. So that one, yeah, step up, finally. So we've been going down, boom, we're taking a step up. Then we go into the plethora of Resident Evils, and no date, just I saw it said like this fall we're going to be getting like 5 and 6. I didn't see when we're getting the original, but I was kind of like, I don't know, I was perturbed by the oddness of the introduction of it. Let me know in the comments if you experience this too, but when Resident Evil was first introduced, it's introduced by two people breaking into a house, for the sole purpose of playing the Resident Evil game on their Switch in a spooky house. But it's like, this system's mainly made for children, and we're breaking into a house to play a video game. I just thought it was just entirely odd. Like, what a thing to do. I think it would have made a better, like, it would have made a better story if it was you're at home and maybe your parents went out for the night and it's like a stormy night and you have your friend over because your parents are out so that you don't feel scared. Your friend's over and you decide while the lightning, the thunder's going on outside, a storm, and the rain's in the windows, you decide to play this Resident Evil game, you get scared and you run out of the room or something. That to me makes a whole lot more sense than, hey, let's promote breaking into houses. Yeah, good old B&E to play some Resident Evil. Yeah, just didn't make any sense to me. But yet again, it's just no date, and it's just old games coming back, which is neat. I know a lot of people love the Resident Evils. I played through like the newest one, Resident Evil 7, when I was a kid and these games were originally releasing. I was too scared to play them, not gonna lie, but my brother, 7 years older than me, he was more than happy to play through them, and I was more than happy. He was the first Twitch streamer for me. I would watch my brother, on the couch, we'd be hanging out, he'd be playing through the games that I felt were scary, and I would just sit there and watch him play while I was too scared to do anything, and I would try and help point out, like, oh, maybe there's something over there and stuff. He was my first Twitch streamer, and I would chat in the chat of talking to him, and some of my happiest times. So I watched him play through all of, like, the Resident Evils over the years, and, like, even when I played the newest one, I kind of had a feeling, like, I was like, man, I would rather watch my brother play this, It was kind of odd. It was like the first Resident Evil I really fully played, and I was like, man, I'd rather watch him play and just hang out and watch and just play all these games in there, it would have been cool. I should have done it that way. But yeah, so I mean, that doesn't really wow me. It's just, okay, this isn't like anything new, it's not like a Resident Evil especially for the Switch or something. Like, it's just, okay, we're just porting games over. We're game porting, and we don't have a date. It's like this fall. Then they go into No More Heroes 3. I've never heard of the other ones. Apparently they started coming out for the Wii, and I never had a Wii, and now I can't, and that sounds funny. I'm sorry, that sounds funny. Now I can't ever get one because they're not made anymore. But it looks cool. It looks cool. There's like a character, what was his name? I don't have it here. Oh well. He had a cool name though. And it looks like, there's going to be some funny story to it, the way the character is. He kind of reminds me of like a Deadpool-esque type character for a video game, kind of breaking the fourth wall and talking to you and stuff. But it's like a hack and slash game. Can't go wrong with something like that. And it's different, but no date. 2020. That's up in the air. I know it's E3, maybe you're sitting there, but it's E3, you usually don't get dates. I know, but, usually when a game's this year, you should have a roundabout, like, I would say a date, especially when you could pre-order a lot of these games already. Like, if I can give you my money, you should give me a date, That's the way I feel about it. I should know. I should have an expectation. So, it looked kind of cool, though. Then we go into Contra Rogue Corp. So, like, No More Heroes wasn't a step up or down. It was just sideways. It was kind of cool, but sideways, kind of. Then we go into Contra Rogue Corps, September 26, 2019. A game with a date, but I kind of wish it would have a year added onto it, because this game, although it does come out for all the systems, it kind of is the worst looking game I saw all night. The gameplay looks like it's going to be a lot of fun. I do like those kind of like almost top-down looking games where it's just like a shoot-'em-up kind of, and like a whole bunch of monsters and stuff, and you figure your way around dungeons and stuff, and you're shooting things and everything. A lot of fun. I can't remember the game I played first. It was on PlayStation 1, and I think it was like Outrage or something. It was something like that, and it was like a top-down looking game where, you just shoot and use your controller to shoot around in, like, the circle area. A lot of fun. So Contra Rogue Corps looks like that, but it looks like that. You understand what I'm saying? Like, if you look at the trailer, you see like the things around in the world look like pretty good. Like the world looks kind of filled in with a lot of textures and a lot of stuff, but the actual characters and the animations look like they're PlayStation 1 graphics. So I don't know if that was a planned thing or not, but if it's not, it better not be a $60 game, in my opinion. It looked, to me, I was just kind of let down with it. So another step down for me. Then Daemon Ex Machina. It's just, you know, cool game. 2019, no official date. It looks kind of cool. It didn't shock me. Like, it looks like a game I think worth playing, but I mean, they can't all be winners. So for me, it was just you know, not bad, but not good. It was just you know, just it exists. If I had extra money, maybe I'd pick it up. If I was looking for something that I just don't have, and I needed something new just to fulfill like a newness, you know, and I would pick it up in 2019. What actual date, I don't know. Then goes into Ashe Chain. This one actually made me excited. It says August 30th of this year, which is cool. I'll probably get it. Out of all the games we saw so far, Ashe Chain was definitely the most unique looking one. You get these chimera monsters that are like attacking the world, and then you kind of take control of one of the monsters, or maybe it might even be multiples. I couldn't tell if there was different ones with different abilities, which would be interesting, but it looked like there was like ones doing different things, so maybe it would mean you have to like attack certain ones, capture them, maybe like a Pokemon type thing, which I think would be very interesting, but I highly doubt that's gonna be how it's gonna be. But so you get this chimera that becomes like your companion, your soul, like it like joins with you. You become two people but in one, and it's all about the story of like how you're taking on all the other chimeras, trying to save the world and everything, while like there's a danger to yourself, since if one dies, the other just the story is very enthralling, and just looking at it, it looks pretty stunning for a Switch game. So out of all of them, definitely this was one of the ones that like I was like, oh, like the Legend of Zelda was okay, you know, I'm gonna definitely get that and everything, but like this one I was like, neat. All right, so like this finally felt like an E3. This felt like here's this new game, this new offering that's not like same old or continuation or masters or reskins or porting, you know, like this one finally felt to me like, all right, this is like, you know, something interesting, something unique, cool. So I'm looking forward to that one. That one was a step, you know, double step up for me. I went up a couple of steps there. I was like, woo! And then we go on to Empire Sin, XCOM-like game. I wrote down here. Spring 2020, a long time away. I'm not a big fan of the XCOM-like games you noticed earlier with Dark Crystal. They don't, like, they're interesting. I think they're great games for once in a while, if you're just feeling like you need something different. I think they're great games. I'm not saying that they're bad games. You know, like my name's Fealty Gaming because I pledge my fealty to gaming. So as per pledging my fealty to gaming, it is a game. I consider these games, and they fulfill, you know, every check mark of what a game is, and that's great. But for me, when I want to take 20 minutes out of my day, it's just the XCOM games are just way down the list of games for me personally, which, you know, is not anything against them, but they're just, I'm like, I'd rather run around and, you know, be in the fight and stuff, you know, like, if I want to play, like, turn-based thing, I'll play chess or something, yeah, like, I don't know, like, they're neat, though, they're neat, you know, but, yeah, so spring 2020, no official date, but, you know, we're gonna get games for next year. I mean, that's also what E3 is showing you what's coming up in the oncoming years, so that was kind of cool. And then it goes into Marvel Ultimate Alliance. Now, I did already a review of one of the trailers for Ultimate Alliance on the channel. But now that we got a little bit more information, it says need an expansion pass. I looked up, the expansion pass is $20 on top of the $60 cost of the game. Comes out July 19th, 2019. And for me, it's just like, you know, it just kills me that we're getting a $20 cost on it. You know, like, that's just, I don't think that this game is worth that much. I could see it being worth that much only insofar as there's probably a high cost to the licensing of the game, but I can't see it being worth, you know, $80 because, oh, wow, what you're getting. Like, it just, I like the game. I liked Ultimate Alliance 1 and 2. I thought they were great. I enjoyed playing them. I'm sure I'm going to enjoy playing this one, and I am going to get it to do a review on the channel, but, you know, $80 is too much for that game. I don't think many Switch games could garner an $80 cost, because it's not a full experience. It's a nice portable experience, but you're not getting a full experience. It's not like this is some game running on the Unreal Engine in 4K and amazing beauty with great online functionality, friendsless chats, everything. Like, this is not that. This is, you know, gaming light. You know, it's like saying a cell phone game should be $60. No. Now, this is, I'm not saying this is the equivalence of a cell phone game, but I would say the Marvel Alliance is probably going to be able to be played on a cell phone game someday. I can't see it not being too long away, especially with Xbox getting their streaming services together. I'm just saying. But, so $80, that kind of killed it for me, but the game does, like, kind of look cool, so, there's that. Then it goes into Cadence of Hyrule, pretty much another Legend of Zelda game. Kind of looks like it's got similar skins as the Link's Awakening game there, but it's a rhythm game, so you gotta like fight and move and everything to a beat and everything, which looks like actually it would be a lot of fun. Like, it looks like it would be a ton of fun. So I'm looking forward to that. It just says 2019. Sometime this year it's going to come out. Cool. It looks like a fun game. Fun, simple game. So that was a step up for me. Ultimate Alliance was sideways step. It wasn't bad. It's not good. It's just, you know, I really wish that didn't have $20. But yeah, Cadence Hyrule, yeah, it looks like a worthwhile game. Then we go to Mario and Sonic Olympic Games Tokyo 2019. Golly gosh, the name. It says November of this year. And it's kind of like a Mario Party meets the Olympics, but it also has the Sonic characters and Mario characters together in the game. And it's pretty cool, but I'm going to talk about one of the problems I'm going to have with it later at the end, when I'm going to just do my overall about Nintendo. But you know, it looks like a cool game. You're going to have your online multiplayer and everything, and just solid game, I think, to have on your system, especially if you have people over and you can play with multiple people and have friends and everything, all that stuff. Yeah, that kind of cool game to have. $60, so I don't know. I don't know how often you can really play it. But if you have a kid, like all these games, like I'm going to say in a little bit at the end, these things are for kids, and I think will fulfill completely what a child's going to be looking for. Then we get Animal Crossing finally coming to the Switch on March 20th, 2020. Now, they did mention that it was supposed to come out this year, and they're delaying it to next year, but in my opinion, I'm like, well, I'd rather you delay a game. If a game needs more soak time, I don't mind delays. I mean, if you're getting into delaying like 3 years, 4 years, and you're not completely doing from the engine up, then we got a problem. But if you're delaying a year, maybe a little bit over a year, I am perfectly fine with that. I'm sick and tired of games coming out completely broken, taking my money, and then utilizing my money as an influx for them to make more money by releasing DLCs and, you know, cost structures after, which will then make the game be what it should have been at launch. So you know what? That was cool. Delay if you need to. Looks like a pretty solid, fun game to just play on the Switch, especially for a kid. Solid in my opinion. Step up, even though I'm probably not going to play it. It doesn't look that interesting to me. But, you know, as per what it's supposed to fulfill, I think solid delay. Then we get, at the end, The Legend of Zelda Breath of the Wild sequel. Hint, supposedly 2020, but wow, when you see the video, it looks like a darker, gritty, just, it's like, it looks like Link and another character. I don't know who the other character was, but maybe you're gonna be able to do co-op, who knows? I have no clue. It doesn't really say anything other than, hey, by the way, we're working on another Breath of the Wild, pretty much, and, you know, and that was that, but it looks sick. I'm so looking forward. Breath of the Wild was an amazing game. I think Breath of the Wild is a must-have game on any gamer's game list, especially if you have the Switch. You just have to get it. But I would warn you, when I played through Breath of the Wild, I streamed it, so I was playing for many hours straight, and it did warp my Switch. So I have a warped Switch right now, and it kind of sucks, and yeah, so heed the warning. Don't use it in the dock for too long of a time. That might just be maybe my Switch was bad, but that's my warning. But you know what? I'll take the warp. That game was an amazing experience. It really was. And I missed out on, you know, returning it within my warranty period. So that was my fail. My fail. What can you do? What can you do? I thought that the date was a little bit longer. And when I really started to notice the warp, and by the time the warp actually got really bad, it was too late. What can you do? I think they should just replace them and swap them out, you know, with warping just indefinitely, because that's, you know, built in from their fault. But so that was all the games that I saw from the E3, and, you know, win some, lose some there. But so my final thoughts about everything, I will say I don't think that Nintendo has won E3. I think Xbox has won E3 so far, and that's really not good, because I think a lot of things Xbox is doing is going in directions that's probably going to be bad for gaming, like I mentioned in my video for that. But with Nintendo, I think that there's a major problem here. I don't think they realize what the future of gaming is. Now, these games are great. You know, I'm not saying anything bad about the games. I think the company is pretty great. I think they solidly make solid games most of the time. Like, out of all the game companies, the development companies, publishers, you know, consoles, Nintendo pretty much is the only one that's pretty solid on, if you're gonna get a game from them, you're gonna get a good game, other than the online functionality, which I'll talk about in a moment. So I don't think they won, because I don't think they understand where gaming is going in the future. My worry is that with Xbox, Microsoft coming out with cloud computing for gaming in the very near future, especially with Xbox Game Pass, you also got PlayStation Now, you got a lot of these programs coming out where you're getting games continuously, and now with Xbox being able to play these games on your cell phone, on your tablet, on your TV, on your computer, on everything, at max settings, up to 4K resolution, as long as you have the internet for it, and all of this stuff, I wonder if the niche market that Nintendo is in control of, such as the portable market, is going to be something that they're going to be able to compete with Xbox on in the very near future. And I don't think that they will. I really don't. Now, the other part of the niche market that they have is the children games market. But how hard is it going to be for Xbox to really take that market? With a lot of the games I mentioned today, these are just rehashes of old games. There are also a lot of them ports of games from other systems, and some of these games on here are games that are coming out on all the systems anyway. So out of the real unique games, one of the only things that we have here that's kind of new as per Nintendo is Mario and Sonic Olympics, and then the Zelda rhythm game, Cadence of Hyrule, you know, but Legend of Zelda Link's Awakening is just a new skin of an old game. Luigi Mansion 3 is just a continuation of an old game. Smash Brothers is just getting new characters, but it's really a continuation of an old game. Like, where is the innovation? And then on top of that, now I'll talk about the online functionality. With Xbox, you're getting a full friends list, chat system, voice chat, everything. You're getting the full online experience. And with Nintendo, you got to use your cell phone to get your online experience if you want to be able to talk with someone, which is dismal. Just dismal. Like, this should not be. I kind of feel that Nintendo does it that way because they feel like children are playing the game, so, you know, why kind of do that? But, to me, kind of dismal. So I'm very worried for Nintendo's future. I think that they will keep that niche market of the children's games and also the Nintendo properties, but I think that in a year from now, 2 years from now, I think we will start seeing Nintendo games on the Xbox, you know, cloud service, because I don't think that they're going to be able to compete with Xbox. And then them also not mentioning new Switch consoles, which we've been hearing rumors left and right of them releasing a cheaper version of the Switch that maybe won't have the disconnectable controllers, and then a more expensive version of the Switch that might be able to do more high definition, you know, quality stuff, you know, especially with them porting a lot of games over. That will give them some options to be able to play a lot of the newer games. I think they really need to go in that direction. I think they really need to push for a more high-definition experience with stronger parts in their Switch, and maybe something that doesn't warp itself from really pushing itself at 1080p. That would really help them out a lot. But they didn't mention it. E3 2019, they're not mentioning it. So who knows? Who knows what they're going to do? And I'm just crossing my fingers for them. I think Nintendo is a company that'll never go away. But Nintendo has been a company that has had some periods where they kind of were not the top, and I don't think they're really the top right now. They're just in the top of what they do, and it's a very slippery slope where the other companies could easily become the top of that as well. Just it won't be with Mario or whatnot. It'll be with new children's games that they come up with themselves, and then boom, they're in the children's market. Or maybe with, you know, Minecraft, and you know, there's a lot of properties that Xbox holds that would work for children. So, or I should say Microsoft. But, you know, for me, I don't think Nintendo won. I think there's things to be excited about here. I think that, you know, but most of it was kind of sideways for me. I think that if you were already a fan of a lot of these things, then you'd be even more excited. Like, if these were games you've been playing for a long period of time, and this is like the art styles you like and everything, then yeah, I can see you being excited, and that's awesome. The whole point of gaming is for you to find what you enjoy and just rock with that and just have a good day. That's all it's about. So I can understand for people like, you know, that are into that stuff, I can see that this would be a full-on win. But for me, I mean, I don't think they lost, but I definitely don't think they won. They just did okay, and hopefully that'll be enough. Hopefully it will, because it's really looking like Xbox is, and Microsoft is up to something here. And it's looking like it's going to be a tough cookie to crack. And exclusives and stuff like that is going to be like the only saving grace of comparison of what they're coming out with. But alright, so I'll leave it there. 32 minutes. I'm sorry for the long video. If you stuck through this far, truly thank you so much. I can't say enough. Thank you everybody for joining, watching the videos, and just, you know, just being here. Like, I'm so humbled and blessed by y'all joining me, enjoying the content, and, you know, helping support me to keep on doing this with likes and comments, or just watching. Just watching is already monumental. Thank you so much for that. I'm going to keep on trying to get better and better at creating videos, and hopefully we'll do a thing. Who knows? Thank you so much. You have a good day. Bye, everybody. Bye-bye, bye-bye, bye-bye.
Like, comment, subscribe, and follow if you dare.